first panel session of expert panel members here who are going to talk about a very important and one of the most crucial elements and subjects of the F&B industry, food testing, assuring the safety and quality on your plate. And before I call on my honorable panel members to grace the stage and begin the proceedings, few points of discussion which this esteemed panel is going to carry forward and discuss in front of you. Let me highlight that. Microbiological and biological food testings and methods, food testing for all allergens and microbiological detection and challenges, protecting the customers from any contaminated, modified and unhealthy foods, building brand equality and customer loyalty by delivering healthy and safe food, and many more. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I would like to all of you to help me welcome the honorable panel members with a big round of applause in the order of the sequence. Joining us first on stage, Dr. Raghu HV, Senior Scientist, ICAR-National Dairy Research Institute. A big round of applause to Dr. Raghu. Welcome to the stage, sir. Please have your seat. Joining next on the panel, we have Ms. Swati Bhardwaj, Senior Technical Advisor and Nutrition from Resolve to Save Lives. A big round of applause to Swati. Swati, welcome to the panel. Very delighted to have you. Joining next on the panel, we have Mr. Prawin Kumar Arohi, DGM from Dharampal, Satyapal Limited. A big round of applause to Prawinji. Prawinji, welcome to the panel. Please have your seat. Joining next on the panel, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kishor Variyani, COO from Lalsai Dehy Foods. A big round of applause to Kishorji. Kishorji, welcome to the panel. Please have your seat. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to call our honorable moderator for the panel, Dr. Naveen Dhanda, Director, JSBS Foods. A big round of applause to Dr. Naveen. Dr. Naveen, welcome to the panel. Please have your seat. So a fantastic panel of experts here and the first session. So I'm absolutely sure it's going to be a cracking session. And Dr. Naveen, all over to you. Looking forward to a great session.
Which one should I pick up? Is this working? Good morning, everyone. And thanks, Sinex, for having us and for this wonderful morning. Before I begin, I would like to say thank you to this panel members over here. And the list of the panel was bigger than what you see. The strength has been reduced somehow. Maybe some members were not able to make up to the morning. And let me come to the subject, and the topic that we have today for this panel is about importance of food testing when it comes to producing safe food. So what involves into food testing to get safe food when it comes to on your plate? Any food that comes to your plate, commercial food I'm talking about, goes through some kind of food testing. And food testing landscape is quite bigger, larger, and there is no universal model of food testing that works for all products. So every product is unique in terms of its composition, in terms of what it has in it, and the characteristics of every product that is used to make a product for commercial purpose. It goes through a lot of testing. And when it comes to food testing, that could be for chemical, that could be for nutrition, that could be for safety parameters like microbiological testing. So there are a number of food testing that one product has to go through before it finds a place in the market. So, and to do that, of course, there are food regulatory agencies which controls all this sort of food testing and what sort of food tests should be carried out for a product. But again, it is food producers' responsibility and obligation to meet those requirements, because when you go out into the market, you need to have those key elements in it. Whatever you claim for, whether it is to do with nutrition, whether it's to do with of course, safety parameters. You don't want your product going into market which can spoil in no time. So it should have its shelf stability. Uh, Before distracting too much, because this is a very, very vast subject when it comes to food testing. So we have a wonderful panel. Sinex has done a good job finding people for constructing these panels. We have scientists, we have company founders, we have advisors. So probably, in the next 40 minutes or so, you'll find some interesting discussion coming to you. And I'm sure at the end of the discussion, you will find some takeaways that might be helpful for your day-to-day things. So, beginning the subject about food testing, let's hit the nutrition side of it. When it comes to, I mean, nowadays, market is evolving at fast speed, and nutrition is a burning topic. Every company has become innovative, even a small-scale company. They are becoming innovative, coming with new ideas and, infusing nutrition into it, or modifying, or putting some supplements into it. So it's an interesting play nowadays. And we can't cover all the topics, but we have Dr. Swati. You come from which company? Sorry, I missed your company name. And she's an expert. She comes from nutrition background, and she's going to throw some light how, what are the latest trends, and how, what sort of challenges they go through, and how they overcome their challenges. So over to you, Swati.
Sure, thank you. At the outset, I would like to thank the organizers for having such an important issue, which is not only close to my heart because I come from a nutrition background, but also because it is of utmost importance when it comes to regulatory compliances. I represent an organization which is a global health organization, which is resolved to save lives. Also being part of a member at the scientific panel at Food Safety Standards Authority of India, I would like to add upon a couple of components from the regulatory side as well. So when we talk about food testing, what exactly is it? It is very critical because it involves so many processes that are absolutely critical to make sure that the food is safe, wholesome, nutritious, and involves a lot of testing. When we say testing, it's not just one single domain. It includes chemical testing, allergen testing, pathogen testing, which comes under the microbial testing. It also includes nutritional testing, which, again, I'll be talking more about. So all these combine together to actually testify a product that, yes, it is safe, it is wholesome, it is nutritious, and it aligns with the regulations of transparency in terms of product labeling. Talking about the nutritional component, so a particular food item is tested for its nutritional components, which includes nutrients which we require, which is energy, protein, carbohydrate, vitamin, and minerals. It also includes certain nutrients of concerns, which includes fat, sugar, salt, saturated fat in particular, and trans fats. So these are the components for which a particular food has to be tested and transparently labeled to comply with the regulatory standards. Also, talking about these particular nutrients of concerns, they're a burning topic these days. Why? Because there has been awareness, there has been some level of nutritional literacy among consumers, and they are looking for the healthier options. So if a manufacturer is able to maintain a balance between product, taste, and nutritional component through testing, it is absolutely a win-win situation for them. Talking about testing again, testing, though may sound very simple, but has a lot of challenges, a series of challenges when it comes to testing. There are certain standards which have been laid down for a product to be tested. Apart from that, the challenges with respect to different methodologies for a particular test. For example, for testing fats only, there are different methodologies. For testing trans fat, again, there are different methodologies. Why I'm highlighting trans fat at this moment is because 2023 is a crucial year wherein World Health Organization has set out a limit that by 2023, they have called for action to limit or eliminate this trans fat, which is the worst type of fat in our food products, to either completely eliminate them or limit them to less than 2% limit. And this comes with its own challenges because either the methodology to test it is not uniform across all food laboratories. The standards which we require for testing it are either not available or have high cost associated to them. The regulatory standards require $15 per sample for a particular test of trans fat, whereas the WHO protocol, which requires 28 trans isomers to be tested, has a cost of approximately $73. So there's a huge gap to it. And we need to have a balance in order to assess the trans fat, which are predominantly available in our food supply, and test them effectively, have a uniform methodology to test them, and also with respect to the expertise, the skills required for our analyst, it is a very, very precise methodology. So a lot of expertise, a lot of training is required, which again is a gap. Though government is trying to bridge it up, it is taking time. And since 2023 was the year by which we had to comply with it, the compliance from the industry is limited. And this is a challenge again. So these are the things which come into play when we talk about testing per se. And trans fat is just one area which I'm talking about. I'm sure there are people over here who have a lot of expertise in other methods of testing, and they would like to add upon it.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Swati. I hear more challenges than solution from you. So it's interesting. That's how it works. So we have Dr. Raghu, scientist from NDRI, and he's going to throw some light on the latest trends. He's doing fantastic job on a couple of things. So he's going to share his innovation and the latest trends in food testing. And over to you, Dr. Raghu.
Good morning to one and all. This is Raghu, Dr. Raghu HV from ICAR-National, Karnal. I'm working in the area of food safety, quality assurance, microbial biosensor development, and rapid test for detection of EMR pathogen also. I'm here, at the outset, I want to thank Synex Group for inviting me to share my work in this panel. Basically, I'm working on nowadays paper strip-based technology is one of the important technology. We are working on detection of antibiotic residues. Initially, it is very important that mastitis is one of the thing that has to be detected at farm level, followed by antibiotic residue, pesticides, microbial quality of milk, and whatever technology we are developing that is based on paper strip assay, that is for can detect at farm level as well as manufacturing point. We are targeting both farm level as well as manufacturing point to meet the regulatory requirement as well. First of all, paper-based technology. This is very simple technology, and also it is cost-effective, simple, ready-to-use technologies. Because whatever technology is available presently, they require some expertise for and also cost-effective, and farm level we cannot utilize. Like for mastitis, for example, for mastitis detection, some CMT test is available and somatic cell counter. This somatic cell counter is very costly, and CMT, it gives some false positive, negative result in detection of subclinical and clinical type of mastitis. And here, clinical mastitis we can detect by visual observation, but subclinical mastitis is very difficult to detect without testing the sample. But by testing methods, it takes time. So that what we have done, we have targeted one simple marker enzyme in that mastitis milk. Based on that, we have developed a paper strip assay. Based on this paper strip assay, we can detect subclinical mastitis within 6 minutes with one simple incubator. And whoever at farm level or any farmers also, or any veterinary hospitals also, it can be used. It is very cost effective with a cost of 5 rupees per test. Followed by, for treatment of mastitis, veterinarian, they will use antibiotic residues. Sometimes what will happen, without proper management, without proper documentation, there will be unknowingly these antibiotic residues will come into milk, and it will cause technological problem in milk and milk product, as well as public health aspect also will be there. So that antibiotic residue detection also very important at farm level. So that for that also we have developed a paper strip technology as well as tube-based assay for detection of antibiotic residues. Whatever we have developed, the technology that detects broad spectrum group of antibiotic. It says that it is present at MRL level, present or absent test is developed. This is very cost effective, so that this technology can be adapted at farm level, so that we can screen large number of sample. Whatever sample get positive, that can be hold it in the farm level or reception duct, so that it cannot be mixed with good quality milk. And followed by one of the technology we have developed for detection of pesticide residues based on spore germination and enzyme inhibition assay. It takes 2 hours. It can detect organophosphate, organochlorine, carbamate, fungicide, herbicide, different group of pesticide it can detect within 2 hours. So that this technology can be adapted at reception dock, or and also this technology can be used for different product as well. So this is also very cost effective technology. It costs around 100 to 150 rupees. So that we can screen large number of sample. Whatever sample get positive, we can go with chromatographic based technique to know what type of pesticide residue is there and what quantity is there. Based on that, we can take action in under reception level, so that good quality product will not be mixed with whatever positive sample. That can be avoided. And another technology we have developed using paper strip is for detection of total plate count, microbial quality of milk at reception dock. This technology can detect at higher load at around 20-minute test. 20 minutes, if it is lower count, 6 log count, it takes around 40 to 60 minutes like that. We can screen, we can grade the milk, raw milk based on that paper strip, so that we can detect, we can avoid based on that raw material. Means it is good quality milk, it can be used for some of the product like UST product. We need very good quality milk. Means the microbial load should be lower. Based on that, by using paper strip technology, we can grade the milk based on the whatever the product we are preparing at different industries. That can be done.
Dr. Raghu, can I interrupt you? Yes. Okay, now this is good. Any milk, who has to deal with milk product, please come and see Dr. Raghu. He has got, some solutions for you. When milk comes to your premises, how to define whether it's a good milk or it's a bad milk. Though you can't see, visibility is fine. It says white milk and clean milk and everything is good. But how to say this is bad milk and this is good milk? Dr. Raghu is doing fantastic job at his lab. So any milk, person over here, please come and see him. That's the information he has shared is quite, the technology they're going to offer you, it costs you nothing. And then it tells you what is good milk and what is bad milk. And he was talking about mastitis. It's all about people who deals with milk. They understand it. People who do, sorry, I'm doing a little bit of your job, if you don't mind. Mastitis is about like when milk comes through this channel, teats. So the canal the tube, the milk tube that gives out milk, so swelling happens. From soil, bacteria goes into the teats and it gives disease to the udder and the teats of the animals. So he's talking about that one. Before it becomes clinical, there are preclinical signs. So he's offering you technology that can detect the problem at preclinical stage, and you can go back to your farmer and say that this animal is suffering, and please go for treatment or whatever they have to do. So thank you, Dr. Raghu. Let's move to the next subject. Food testing. Dr. Swati has thrown some light, and Dr. Raghu has contributed it. And we are talking about the later. We can't cover everything, but we try. They're all sharing their experience. And let's move to one of the founder of his company. And when it comes to food testing, the automation of plant. Food testing depends upon the process. See, a lot of food testing, what drives your food testing? There are a lot of components in it. Environment that comes in contact with your product, personal hygiene, and of course, ingredients that goes into making commercial product for you. So there are a lot of factors in it. And processing side, how many personal interventions are there? Can we replace all personal intervention with automation? So automation has a say in developing a food testing model for your particular product. So how automation helps to drive your productivity. Of course, automation drives your productivity faster, no doubt about it. But to share that experience, we have Mr. Prawin. Yes, Prawin, please, over to you.
Thank you. Myself, Praveen Arohi, working at DS Group. So first of all, thanks Synex Group, given chance for me as a speaker, speak something about automation. First of all, we need to understand why these days require automation. Automation, artificial intelligence, these kind of things, today's scenario and today's industry. In the traditional method, that we all know that whatever the testing we are doing, it is very bulky and time consuming. And nowadays, the customer or the people are from unorganized sector to organized sector, they are moving. Means they are now adopting the packed food, processed food, these all things. It means the customer, the demand of this product, huge, it's increased. If it's increased huge, then obviously we need to think how we increase the productivity with safety, with the product that enhance the quality of the product. Because all the customer knows nowadays how we get the maximum benefit from a quality point of view, what is the nutritional factors of the product. So these all things, because of this, we have moved automation system. Automation, one step is automation, another step is artificial automation. In automation, we have increased the productivity. If we producing processing milk, then we have increased the capacity through automation. If we do if we sorting process, what is happening in the traditional way. Suppose some apple is there. Apple is having a big size, medium size, small size. Previously, lot of manpower required to do the sorting, to segregate all the product. But now the automation system, they have segregating through automation through system, separating at the same time, and it segregate and packed through automation. But nowadays, one more thing is AI system. AI system, it's we can say organoleptic test. Organoleptic, when the milk is doing this organoleptic, then man to man it is changing. Sometimes we are seeing that even in the home that today's milk we have bought and it's differ the taste. Even not only milk, in other product also we are seeing that today the quality is not like what we are getting previously. We are now not getting that kind of product. So now for this organoleptic test also introduce sensory evaluation, and what they are doing that they are developing standardized quality test, and through this sensor process at the same quality all the time they will get through that milk. This also system has been adopted now the industry, and it will definitely now coming days all the big industry or small industry, they will adopt these all things. One more example, I am saying that the AI system in the packaging system. Even in the my current organization also, they have is, intermediate carton system. We have some printing method. In printing method, what matter we are printing, like batch coding, date of manufacturing, MRP, all the things we are printing. But in manual process, sometimes what happening that it is passed through manpower and goes market some wrong labeling also. But in the AI system, first of all, in AI system, we need to teach the system what we required. And through this AI system, if the printing mistake in the whole day or whole batch, if anything printed wrong, then it will reject through system. And through not only reject, we can count, we can get the algorithm also, what percentage due to which region it rejected. And through this, we can do the RCA, root cause analysis, and we can correct initial, in the first where it is happened, there also we can do the correction. Yes, through AI system, it is happening, some percentage will increase. When we introduce the new system, some percentage will increase the losses, wastage. But if we think the long term, it definitely get benefited, and we can do all the RCA, and then we can get zero wastage through this system. So this is how the AI and the automation system is working.
Thank you for sharing what you guys do, and it looks like that it's quite highly advanced technology or automation system you are using. So thank you for that. Now we move to why I'm missing the name. Sorry. Okay. Now we move to we'll talk about food testing. When it comes to designing of food testing, the center of food testing is about protection of consumer, right? And food testing is one part. You do it for allergens, you do it for contamination, you do it for microbiological or biological detections. So to make sure that nothing goes unhealthy into product, what sort of challenges and how to overcome them. To talk about this, we have Mr. Kishor, and he runs his own company, and they produce products for domestic as well as for international market. I think he's the good guy to talk about how to protect customers from contaminated, modified, or unhealthy food. So over to you, Mr. Kishor.
Thank you, Dr. Naveen and Cinex Group to providing this opportunity me. Actually, from present group, many manufacturers will be there, and it's our moral and ethical responsibility to protect our customer, what we are producing. Despite meat industry, all foods are connected with agro community. So everything is coming from farms. So our responsibility starts from there itself. Whether we are connected to the farms directly or indirectly, we have to take care, the product and processing from there itself. Starting from farm, the pesticides which are used into that. We have to take care of that, or we have to, indirectly take care through our vendors, whether they are taking care of the pesticides used in the crops, the products. So those should be, taken care of. Secondly, the quality control and testing parameters in-house should be there. Usually, we develop a laboratory inside, but we should have a sufficient trained staff to, take those quality parameters accurately when the product goes to your consumer. If you are B2B, then the product is going to, reprocess somewhere. So these products are going to be tested once again. So we have to take care, quality parameters at our place itself. Recently, we have faced a challenge of salmonella presence in the product. Usually, people do salmonella testing in-house in 25 or 50 gram per product. And the companies which are, the companies to whom we are supplying, those are MNCs. And they are testing the same parameter on 375 gram or 750 gram. After doing the same thing on 375 or 750 grams, still there is a deviation in the results. So why these things are happening? So we have to go in detail. Some companies are doing tasting in 1:10 dilution, some are doing in 1:20, some are doing in 1:50. So we have to, understand the things, how consumers are working. We have to understand their patterns as well. If we are in retail market, then our responsibility is much more higher than any other, because the product is going to consumed by a small kid as well. The ETO challenges, ETO residue challenges are nowadays a burning issue, because 2 years back, EU regulation has reduced the MRL from 0.2 to 0.02 ppm for ETO residues. I think everybody is aware about that. And over the night, these changes happened, and the spices and the dehydrated products got failed at EU countries. So we have to understand that to reduce microbial count, we should not go for any unethical practices. So it's our responsibility to protect our customer from these kind of challenges. One more thing I would like to highlight, that we should have protocols to recall or rework our processes, our products. So this is all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Kishor. Let me come to Dr. Swati, back to you. And my question to you is about, please tell us a little bit, some food testing for nutrition is part of day-to-day thing, all right? They become part of product itself. But some burning issues, which are latest issues, not only within India, at international level as well, they come and say that they should not be part of the product anyway. So what are those burning issues that you are dealing with right now, or you foresee them that in future they will be likely sort of going to be part of testing? So can you just add some more detail to it? Thanks for that. Yeah.
Thank you. So yes, dealing with international markets, not only international but Indian markets also, has certain set of challenges when it comes to food testing and testing certain nutritional parameters. So as I previously mentioned, the Food Regulatory Authority has laid down certain standards, and every product has to comply with those standards One of them is at the back of pack, mention all the nutrients. There are a list of nutrients which are given, and those have to be mentioned. What goes missing is getting them tested accurately. The concern which we are facing, not only in India, but also in international markets, is that the foods which are being, the information that is being written at the back of pack, the nutrients, the nutritional composition, is not based on actual analysis, but is based on the values of the raw ingredients, which is a published figure by NIN. So that is something which is very concerning, because Codex International, which also controls the import-export market, has also laid down regulations, and Indian authorities have complied with them and laid down their own internal regulations. The major source of rejection is not getting actual tests done. So when the product from here goes over there at the international markets, they do actual chemical analysis, and our products fail over there. Be it for energy, be it for protein, carbohydrate, fat. There's no one nutritional component which I'm talking about over here. But yes, the overall analysis which should happen at a product development stage. A product is manufactured, it should straight away go for testing. For the nutritional components, for all other components as well. That is not happening. What happens is, at the bottom of the back of pack, there's a small disclaimer which is placed that the values are based on the raw ingredients. And this is something which fails to pass the standards laid down by the international markets. And it is not acceptable even in India, as per the regulation. The food has to be tested, the entire food product which has been developed, irrespective of the base ingredient, raw ingredient that has gone to it. The analysis part has to be for that whole composite food item that has been developed. So that is one challenge. The two other challenges are with respect to nutrients of concern. So India is yet to have its definition of HFSs, which what we call is high fat, sugar and salt foods. India is still developing the definition, but other markets, the European markets, the American markets, they have regulations laid down. And going forward, they would be encouraging foods that comply by that regulation when it comes to the sodium content of a particular product, the sugar content, the added sugar content of a particular product, the fat content, the cholesterol content, the saturated fat or the trans fat content of that particular product. So going by that definition, in future, like you mentioned, that is a challenge which we will be facing. And I think we have the expertise, we have the will, it's only the compliance. And compliance is not just, the regulatory authority is not just responsible for getting this through and through. It's a multi-stakeholder responsibility. It's a public-private partnership. The industry has to come forward, the government has to come forward and get the tests done the right way.
No, thank you, Dr. Swati. Even in my personal experience is that when it comes to food testing, and it depends what kind of product you are making and for which market, definitely. So there are a lot of factors which defines your food testing. Right? And sometimes it could be just fatigue, too much compliance. Okay, is it worth sending that product to the market? Because you'll be spending a lot of time and money and resources to meet the standards. So there are a lot of factors, and I'll take up 2 minutes to share my experience. And the product that would go to this international market, they had a zero tolerance for that particular bacteria. And I'm talking about Listeria species, Listeria monocytogenes. Though the scientific literature, it says that some amount of it, some level of it is acceptable. It's not harmful for consumer. But sometimes the compliance or the borders of certain markets, they are so strict, they won't allow your product to enter into their market. So that's, and this the product I'm going to talk about was they found Listeria monocytogenes on the product. And that was only one detection out of 2 containers. And they did number of tests, but one sample failed, and they said, no, they're going to reject the whole, everything out. And that started sort of investigation in our company. And it took us 3 months, continuous exercise, put product on hold. Everything was just stuck. Nothing can move out of the premises because every batch has to go through particular test. So it was coming to a fatigue, and ultimately we found it, and that particular bug was hiding under a motor which was for the conveyor belt. So that motor was hanging just beside the conveyor belt because at start it vibrates, right? So when it is operating, it vibrates, and that vibration would generate some kind of air force, and the bacteria would jump over onto the product. So that was a very random finding, and rigorous testing and testing would one sample would come positive in 2 days testing. What would you do? What would you do? So sometimes it could be fatigue, as you said. You know, it's totally. So people who are, I don't know how, you know, what sort of food safety plan you have got and how food testing has been incorporated into it. But make sure that, I think it helps you if you have a robust food testing model based on what kind of product you make, and make sure that what kind of environment it has around it. You can always, you know, improving environment, improving personal hygiene. He talked about automation. I don't know how, you know, sometimes it's costly as well. So yeah, it's stitching out a best program for your product. You have to look at the cost as well. So we can say whatever we want to say. At the end of the day, you have to produce a product which is market competitive, right? So yeah, but food, again, we can't miss it. The world, the way the market, the food market is evolving. A lot of compliance is coming into it. The globalization, it is going to put more pressure on food producer, definitely. And please evolve your food, this testing model for that particular. Someone has to work continuously. And that's my personal experience. And I'll come back to you, Dr. Raghu. You were talking about mastitis, bad milk and good milk. So the technology you are developing, is it good for milk producer or for milk users? So
it is. It is for both, because mastitis, you know, it caused by many pathogens like S. aureus, Staphylococcus aureus, E. coli. If mastitis milk is further used for preparation, it may be the major source of potential pathogenic bacteria. It may be also Listeria monocytogenes, Salmonella, and also these pathogens carries AMR also, antimicrobial resistance also. So that will be the major food safety concern throughout the globe. So that's why it's very important to test raw milk for mastitis. And after treatment, we should avoid milk for, as per their antibiotic withdrawal time, we have to avoid. After that, we have to use the milk for preparation of any food product, dairy product. Thank you.
All right. You spoke about automation, all right? And can you just add a little bit more into it? We know your robust system that you are running at your premises. Automation, what's its influence on food testing in general? Does it reduce the number of tests you do on day-to-day basis? Or would you like to say something about it?
See, first of all, when the automation is you said that it is costlier. Whenever we introduce the automation system, especially AI system, initially it will show that it is a higher cost. But yes, definitely it reduces the cost. Through automation system, we can get actual reason. If anything deviation happening, that we know the actual reason why it is happening. Because we can take the data. Algorithm, we can take data, and through this data, we know why it happened, where it happened, how it happened. So through this system, if we arrest all the issues, then the customer complaint or the issue that definitely it is minimized. Minimized, it is go to up to 0 level also. See, one more example I am saying SCADA system. In the dairy industry, they are using SCADA system. In SCADA system, they are having some temperature sensors, some air pressure sensors. With these sensors, if we set the temperature, some particular temperature, suppose 87 degrees Celsius, the sensor will not open. Definitely it will not open, and when it reach the temperature, then only valve will open and then milk pass through that system. But if a manual system, sometime it is happening some 85, 83, it will also pass it. But through automation, it will not pass, and the quality of the product, it's increasing all the time through AI system or automation.
All right. Well, thank you. Kishor, you spoke, I mean, you run your own company, okay? And you must have this continual improvement and traceability and staff training. So in that sort of scenario, I mean, you export your product. So of course, I can see a lot of compliance there. But when you have this sort of training system in place, continual improvement, how it influences the food testing in general for contamination, for unhealthy stuff, can you just add a little bit?
Sure.
Does it help to convince your customers, or still you have to carry on with the same sort of food testing? As you grow your company, I'm sure, the initial food testing, it will evolve. It won't remain same, because now you will have a robust history behind your product to say this is how it works. And then, so can you just add a little bit to it?
Doctor, let me introduce first my company, Lalsai Dehy Foods. LD Food is a company based at Mahua, which produces dehydrated products. Means the product which are used in ready-to-eat and ready-to-cook products. We are connected with the farm, actually. So from pesticide residues to ETO residues to coming latest challenges to these products, actually the customer is teaching us. Every time when there is a change in the regulation, not only in the FSSAI, also the compliance of FDA and EU and some other countries, we found that a lot more challenges are coming in the future, like MOAH and MOSH, Mo and Mosh. I think some of you are aware about that. Mineral oil, aromatic hydrocarbons, and mineral oil saturated hydrocarbons. These contamination are going to happen in any food industry in coming years, because when there is a petroleum product or polymers are used in the packaging material, or the recycled paper are used in the packaging material, this is going to come in the final product anyhow. So we have to be very careful regarding that as well. As I said, the customer is, teaching everything to, grow. So starting from ETO challenge to the coming challenges, we are continuously training our staff. We are hiring those people who are capable to perform on the quality analysis that can, make the system robust. Thank you.
No, thank you. Before we close the panel, we are open for any questions if you may have. So please throw your question at us, and someone will take up from here. So
absolutely. And before we take the questions, Dr. Naveen, ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for this wonderful panel. Panel 1 on food testing, assuring safety, quality on your plate. Wonderful contribution by our panel members, and beautifully moderated session by Dr. Naveen here. We open the floor since we have 5 minutes with us for questions. So I request, please raise your hand and you will get the mic, and please introduce yourself and your company name and question to which specific panel member. if it's a generic question, I think Dr. Naveen would be the right person to decide who is the panel member who can take it. So we are open for the questions. Please raise your hand. Yes, we have a question there.
Hi, my name is Anup, and the question is to Mr. Prawin Arohi, right? So when you are saying, when you are talking about digitization, you said that testing can come down to zero also. So what do you mean? I hope I have not misunderstood you. That is why I am asking you a question. What you are saying is, if you ensure zero tolerance on the parameters which are recommended. So Louis Pasteur says that 80 degrees tak milk ko heat karenge, so bacteria will vanish. Okay, that is the pasteurization process. तो अगर वो 80 से 79 हुआ तो we assume ऐसा नहीं होगा, right? बैक्टीरिया रह जाएगा, पर 81 हो गया तो we are sure बैक्टीरिया नहीं रहेगा. So if the zero tolerance is maintained in the factory all around, quality is assured. Is that it?
See, the zero level means for all the aspect, all the product, all the terminology, it not happen come. But few cases, many cases, it may be need to reach the zero. Like I'm talking for the some labeling issues, labeling through AI system. Because just why I have zero saying that currently for the packaging we have introduced AI scanning system and we have reached the 6 sigma. In that level, 6 sigma is saying that it is not zero, but if we reach the 6 sigma level, then it is almost like zero we can consider. In terminology of the pasteurization system, like that now it's not 80 degree, it's now 83, 84 degree.
Okay.
If we pasteurize it, then previously Mycobacterium tuberculosis was the index bacteria to kill, and then it's safe for the customer. But now the bacteria also time to time it is changing. Now it is Mycobacterium, this Staphylococcus, some other bacteria is around, and that's why the temperature set point is more than 83 degrees Celsius set point. So if 83, if it is 80, because through automation system, temperature not allowed to reach the below the, it is set point 83 to 85. It is not fixed to 83 only. It is a range having that if within the range, then it is safe.
And I'll add more to you what you just said. I think depending which safety plan do you use and what sort of reference you include into it, whether it's EU based or USDA based or NZFSA based or Australian based, or any other food plans that are into market, or the standards that are into market. I mean, I give you an example, like 62 degrees to kill salmonella in milk product, in meat product, okay? What most of the company does who export, they set their standard higher than what the standard says.
Correct.
Right? If there's a little bit deviation to it, they are still safe, right? And coming to zero testing, actually, I think it comes to, yes, you have this standard, you meet that standard on day in, day out, but you still have that monitoring system in place to claim that the system is working.
Correct.
It doesn't come down to zero. It comes down to zero. You don't have to do extra surveillance just for extra. Yeah. So it's like a day-to-day monitoring thing. So does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Okay. Thank you so much.
That's right.
Thank you. We can take one last question from the floor. So please raise your hand, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a question. Yes. So please do introduce yourself and your organization.
Myself, Asher, and I am from JSBS Private Limited, Sonipat-based company. It's a popcorn making company. We are challenging that, I want to say, there is a relation between rancidity or FFA. I just want to know, there is a correlation or not in rancidity or FFA?
Are you talking about rancidity?
Yeah.
Free radicals or something like that. Dr. Swati, what do you think? Would you be able to, better person? Or you would like to answer that? It's just No, you add to it first. And
So
then we go there.
your question is there a relationship between rancidity and free radicals?
Yeah. Free fatty acids.
Free fatty acids.
Yeah, that's radicals.
Yes.
Same
Yes.
thing. Yeah.
Yes, there is a relationship. If your product is rancid, first of all, in any ways, it is not safe. It is not okay to be sold out. Because if it is rancid, that means it has gone beyond the best before date.
The challenge is that when we
Yeah, I mean, it's rancidity. I'm not, I don't come from chemistry side. Whatever I can recall during my university days, free radical, there's a direct correlation between free radicals in the product and oxidation, right? So it's all about if your product is in controlled environment, it is well packaged. And I mean, I give you this example, chips packet, right? When you buy chips packet, it is larger than what the actual content is, because it is filled with gas. So the oxygen is taken out of the product, right? So that's because for the same reason, the chips they don't catch rancidity because of oxygen. So yeah, there's a little bit correlation, and I'm not sure whether I'm answering your question or not, but at least we try to build a sort of a relation. Yes, free radicals, that's why you add antioxidant into products to slow it down the process. कभी कभी घी भी देखा होगा आपने, घी में भी कुछ ना कुछ वो आ जाता है after some times it smells. So that's the same sort of thing. Dr. Raghu, do you want to add something? Same thing? All right. So thank you. Sorry I took your time.
Thank you so much for those questions, and thank you so much, honorable panel members.
One second. अभी मतलब मेरा जो प्रोस्पेक्टिव था वो कंप्लीट नहीं हुआ. मैं ये जानना चाह रहा था कि जैसे हमारा जो प्रोडक्ट है उसका FFA हाई हो रहा है, ठीक है. जब हम रेंसिडिटी कंप्लीट करते हैं तो रेंसिडिटी एब्सेंट आती है, ठीक है. प्रोडक्ट खाने में ओके है, स्मेल में ओके है, बट FFA उसका इंक्रीज कर रहा है. At initial level we are taking the FFA 0.1 or 0.08 something, but in 4 to 6 months it increases to 2.5, 3.5, 6.5 something. So major challenge is this. So I want the conclusion on that.
We can talk separately on this, but it can also be because of the additives you are adding.
Okay.
It can be because of that as well.
We are not editing any additive or any flavor enhancer.
Okay.
It also may be related to microbes. Maybe some microorganism also responsible for rancidity. It may be mold or bacteria. Lipolytic bacteria is there. Lipolytic mold is there. That may also causes rancidity. Yep. That may be the problem.
We are procuring the major product. This is the corn, basically based on South Africa and France also. So we are procuring best quality and high quality corn. So we are facing this. So
please check it for lipolytic count.
So, okay.
That may be.
Can you provide some solution to which bacteria are responsible for
like Pseudomonas. Pseudomonas is the main thing that is responsible for rancidity.
So, do they need to check?
And for FFA?
Yes.
And
lipolytic
for
count.
And for FFA?
You should check for lipolytic count.
And for FFA?
What's that?
FFA, free fatty acid.
Free fatty acid.
That is an outcome only, no?
Yes.
Or we'll answer your talk.
Yeah. Sure.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. And again, a big round of applause for the panel members for handling those questions. Now, before we bid adieu to this panel, I would like to invite on stage Mr. Vikram Kelkar, Managing Director from Hexagon Nutrition. Vikram, if you could come and do the honors of felicitating our honorable panel members here. Welcome to the stage, Vikram. We will start with Dr. Raghu, HV, Senior Scientist from ICAR-National Dairy Research Institute first. A big round of applause to Dr. Raghu for his wonderful contribution in the panel session. Moving next to Ms. Swati Bhardwaj. Ms. Swati Bhardwaj, Senior Technical Advisor, Nutrition from Resolve to Save Lives. A big round of applause to Swati for a wonderful contribution in the panel. Now moving next to Mr. Prawin Kumar Arohi, Deputy General Manager from Dharampal Satyapal Limited. A big round of applause to Mr. Prawin for his wonderful contribution in the panel. Moving next to Mr. Kishor Variyani, COO from Lalsai Dehy Foods. A big round of applause to Kishor for his wonderful contribution in the panel session. And now, our honorable moderator for the panel session, Dr. Naveen Dhanda, Director from JSBS Foods. A big round of applause to Dr. Naveen for wonderfully moderating the panel session. A big thank you once again to all panel members, and I would request the panel members to kindly come forward for a group photo. And Vikram, if you could also join them for the group photograph. That was our first panel session of the day, ladies and gentlemen, on food testing, assuring safety and quality on your plate, and a wonderful start of the day.